So, I took a week off, which mainly meant that I actually did do some work last week on this, but I didn't get much done because I was feeling a little burnt out, between doing this and my other job. So I decided to take it easy. But as you can see, I have made some new walking animations, and I have made some grass that's blowing in the wind. I can't take full credit for this. I followed along with a tutorial / example, which I'll insert somewhere here. This is the example that I was following from. This is actually something that was made for the Godot engine by Captain Proton 42. I'll have a link in the description. But this is all about being able to actually place down grass and it becomes interactable, and I really liked the aesthetic of it. And I did have this like noise in here that's along the edges, but again, I kind of took it out because it kind of works with this big solid, these big solid chunks of grass. But like even that kind of still works. But having those little straggly kind of grass that I'm going for just wasn't working as nice. But I still really like the effect. This was done as a screen effect, so it fills up the whole screen, and I've done it as individual textures that you can go through. So I still really like this effect, especially like with the clouds there. I think I'll have to think about how to integrate clouds into mine as well. So really, that's like a giant monobrow. That's all right. Anyways, paste them back in. Yeah, this has all support for like different levels of grass. Anyway, but I wasn't liking how the effect looks until I decided to make it much more sparse. So this, hooked up on screen just before, was kind of more closer to the original effect. It had like this little noise to sort of indicate that the grass should be billowing. Probably saw that in the video I just showed. But it just aesthetically didn't look right. I mean, even when this was filled in, it looked a bit wrong. But I did add in that when the dog walks through, it also pushes the grass down. That might be a little hard to tell. I feel like I might need to zoom in there. But yeah, this sort of like full grass here, just aesthetically doesn't feel like it fits. So I went through and decided, I was almost going to give up entirely. But I decided to go through and actually make it really sparse, make it like individual grass blades instead. And whilst I'm still not completely sold on the effect, I think it works better. So this is where we're at. So yeah, I just added in that the dog walking along will affect the grass a little bit. It's very subtle. It's more subtle than I really would like, but I think for now I'm happy to leave it until I come back and worry about this stuff later. Because I want to add in other things. I want to add in maybe some weather effects, maybe some more stuff in space again. Speaking of space, made it where the game starts on the ground for the moment. I've only made one little tweak. I got rid of the lines. I felt like the lines were too intense. So I feel like this is a bit more subtle. It's like you can kind of miss it in a way, which is actually what I want. It's like, there's a portal here. And if it was like peeking into like another area of space that had the same background color, you might not notice it straight away, which I feel like it's kind of neat. But yeah, so a relatively small change, but I kind of wanted to do a little bit more stuff on the ground. There is one issue where, because I'm flipping this, when you go into space, it like flips you around, and it's not quite how I wanted to do it. Need to figure out the animations in general a bit, I think. Anyway. The other big thing is, and I'll need to put some text up here at some point, is that I am changing up. Well, I want to adjust. I've got a new game loop idea. So my idea is that the game is about fetch quests. Better put some air quotes in for that. Fetching because they're dogs. Not because but also because a lot of RPGs, use the concept of fetch quests as like their basic form, basic quest structure. I kind of want to expand upon that and have it that like fetch quests is kind of like the catch-all term of like you are either fetching some information about a space anomaly. I want to have some nebulas and like other things in space that you can scan and discover. So you are fetching information about it. Or perhaps somebody needs help with something, in which case you would then go fetch them some items. I'm also thinking that I want to make the spaceship interiors bigger again. I kind of want to make it as like when you're in this spaceship that there should be enough room to fit in like things to interact with, reasons to have a bigger ship. I want to have it where it's like, actually you need more scanning equipment, and so you need more room, and that when you go through and scan certain things, you get more information. I still haven't figured out necessarily an end goal, but I'm currently trying to use like Animal Crossing and other simple games like that as like a bit more of inspiration to be like, all right, your main goal is to help people, and so you're going to go around and help other NPCs and players. So that's where I'm at. I feel like there's a bit more of a game loop there than what I had before. I'm not completely ditching the archaeologist, but I feel like having it that you go around and there are quests to do, or not even quests. Quests is kind of like a very gamey way of putting it, but like there are things to be done. And that you can help. There's a crafting element to it, but it's not for survival. It's more of you have a reason to come down to a planet or go to an asteroid and get some ore, get some materials, and then build some more equipment because so-and-so, some other dog needs a certain thing, but the only way to make that thing is to have some more stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go with it for now. I feel like I need to prototype it beyond making visuals, but we'll see. Anyway, that's where we're at. See ya.